Directors, Mr. Wright, Ms. Holland, and I are excited to welcome these talented musicians to our band programs next year, the 8th graders. Often middle school students are hesitant to join the high school band due to the many conflicts that they think they might have, and the assumption that it's too demanding. Many high school students consider marching band to be demanding, but they also consider it to be the highlight of their band year. I've had many students, and a lot of them think that marching band is the most fun part. We get to go outside, we get to go on trips, and so there's a way to be involved in anything you want to be involved in at all three high schools. And one way we've made this possible is by incorporating our competitive marching band collective as a volunteer organization that you can participate in, but you don't have to. You still get a chance to participate in our Friday night football game, pep bands, as part of your marching band experience, and then you can still do many, many sports. How many students on stage have done sports and band in high school? There's a way to make it happen. How many of you guys are in AP classes, honors classes? We have a lot of good kids on stage, right? I've always said to my students, when there's a will, there's a way, and any kid that wants to be involved in band and do other things can make it happen. If you just want to be in a competitive marching band, we have that option for you. If you want to do band and you want to do other things, we also have that option for you. So there's a chance for you to be involved in whatever you want to be involved in at the high school level. And I think you both agree, yes? Fabulous. So with that being said, if you want to be part of the collective experience, we have our first kickoff date on April the 24th, that's a Wednesday, from 4 to 6 p.m. Get with your middle school band directors and see if there's to be transportation. I believe they do provide transportation to that event. I know that East Carteret will be providing some type of transportation for my kids as well to get over here, as you're going to have it at West Carteret on Wednesday, April the 24th. In addition to that, I wanted to tell you about another event that's coming up that's really near and dear to my heart, which is where we will honor the memory of my dear friend, Mr. Joe McCreary. He was a band director at Beaufort Middle for 30-some years, and he passed away in 2022 from cancer. And if you didn't know Joe, then you missed out, but he was a wonderful human being, probably one of the best people I ever knew, super supportive of all of the students. Many of these kids were taught by him and love him dearly. I got the chance to teach all of his children, and that was a highlight for me. We're going to do a benefit for him, or for his foundation. It's called the McCreary Scholarship Endowment Fund, and it's through the Carteret County Public Schools Foundation. That's going to be on Thursday, April the 25th at Beaufort Middle School. It's going to be a fundraising event to raise money for this endowment fund. The dinner will start at 5:30 p.m., and then there will be a jazz performance at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $25 for the dinner and the performance, or $15 for just the performance. The dinner will be catered by gaffers from Emerald Isle and will include barbecue chicken or roasted pork tenderloin. Is anybody hungry? I'm sorry. With white wine Dijon sauce, rainbow carrots, steamed broccoli, rice pilaf, house salad, and dinner rolls. Yum. I like bread. Online ticket sales will begin after spring break and will be facilitated through the Beaufort Middle School Parent Support Organization. So I'm assuming that you'll probably go online through Beaufort Middle School, call the school, and get your tickets that way. So please look into that. It's going to be a wonderful event with musicians and jazz and just really supporting the memory of Joe McCreary, and we will be able to name the band room at Beaufort Middle School after Mr. Joe McCreary as well. So with that being said, I'm going to hand this over to you.
Thank you, good evening, and welcome to West Carteret High School and the high school portion of our all-county concert. Weren't the middle school bands fantastic? Yeah. It's a good problem to have when we have folks having to sit in the lobby to listen to all the bands, so we thank you for your understanding of that. Middle schoolers, we can't wait to have you a part of our high school bands next year. We know we're going to have a fantastic year with you. You've already met Ms. Wright, the band director at East Carteret. My name again is Andy Wright. I'm the band director at West Carteret. Kinsey Holland is our band director from Croatan High School. Thank you for being here and sharing your children with us. Ms. Holland will now introduce our guest clinician for our high school band.
The high school clinician this year is Dr. Dominic Talanka. Dr. Talanka received his Bachelor of Music Education degree and Master of Music and Wind Conducting degree from the University of North Texas, where he studied conducting with Eugene Migliaro Corcoran. He He received his Doctor of Musical Arts in Wind Conducting degree at Northwestern University, where he studied with Dr. Mallory Thompson. Dr. Talanka taught for 10 years in the Dallas-Fort Worth district and was the Associate Director of Bands at Marcus High School in Flower Mound, Texas from 2006 to 2013. Dr. Dominic Talanka is currently the Director of Bands and Associate Professor of Music at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Dr. Talanka conducts the Symphonic Band and Basketball Pep Band, teaches courses in conducting and woodwind techniques, and administers all aspects of the band program. He is also the conductor of the Wilmington Symphonic Winds, Wilmington Symphony Pops Orchestra, Wilmington Chamber Orchestra, and the OLLI New Horizons Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Dr. Dominic Talanka and the high school Carteret Honors Band.
Let's hear it for that.
Hello. Sometimes I scream. I don't mean to. Good afternoon, evening. Thank you all so much for being here. While they transition in the back with percussion, I'm going to just quickly tell you about each little piece that we played. That first piece was by Kate Nishimura. Kate Nishimura is a Japanese-Canadian composer and writes a lot of really beautiful works. And it's just tuneful, but there's always this rhythmic drive, so we hope you enjoyed that opener. It's called Origin. The next piece we're going to perform is Loch Lomond, and it's by Gerard Hall. Actually, it's not by Gerard Hall. He did the arrangement of the folk tune. Loch Lomond is a beautiful and peaceful lake tucked away between the Highlands and Lowlands of Scotland, and it's based on a traditional Scottish melody. Many of you are gonna know this tune. I think a lot of these students have played it. I always pride myself on picking something they haven't played, but they're like, oh, it's good, keep it. They're playing it beautifully. So we hope you enjoyed Loch Lomond. transition in the back. So let's just all collectively hear it for all of the students that we are hearing today for being so amazing. I don't mean to make this moment about a love fest, but I mean, we wouldn't have the opportunity to work with these students if it weren't for amazing support at home with wonderful families, friends, support network. So students, can we hear it for your parents and family and friends? They're very cool, these students. I try and get them like, yeah, and they're like, yeah. It's near the water. I live in Wilmington, and it was always like, when I first moved to Wilmington, I was told, you know, if you push them too hard, they're just gonna go surfing. So it's this fine line of enthusiasm and like, whoa, it's too much, too much. I think I've pushed that line a little bit. So thank you, parents. And you know, you hear it all the time, and it's really not just like spiel, but this collective that we have here is one of the coolest things I've had the opportunity to work with, to see in action. And you know, it was already said, but these directors care so much about these students and their development as humans, musicians, and it is the greatest honor that we get to have to be invited to work with students, because these directors are very protective of your children and their students. And so there's no bigger honor than to be asked to come and work with a group of students. And so I thank the directors, but I think we should all thank the directors for what they do. Great directors can't be great without awesome administrators. And it was so cool to hear that some are here. So let's hear it for the amazing administrators. You know, we can all be well-intended teachers, but if we don't have that support, so it's amazing what's going on here, and I know that you're all very proud to be a part of this community, and I'm so honored to be invited to be here. Percussion, look ready. On the next piece on the program is going to be called Into the Storm by Robert W. Smith. Robert W. Smith made an appearance on one of the earlier programs, and he's written so much for the band world, and he passed away earlier this year. So, you know, it's a nod to what he's done for education and for music. I think a lot of people are programming some of his music in celebration of him, and so we hope you enjoy this next piece, Into the Storm. piece for you, and we're really excited to share this with you. Erica Spano is a composer who is quirky as all get out. She has the most amazing personality, and the next piece you're going to hear is Mary Shelley Meets Frankenstein, and I have to read the program note, and these are her words. Mary Shelley Meets Frankenstein, a modern Promethean tango, imagines a scenario where the young author meets her own creation, the monster brought to life, whom we colloquially refer to as Frankenstein. They meet, circling each other in a dance reflective of a tango I will not demonstrate today. I left those shoes at home. Mary is initially curious and sympathetic, while the creature pleads for compassion. In the moment when the two come together, Mary's sympathy is overwhelmed by horror, and she begins to panic, while the creature becomes furious with her rejection. With the final notes, we're left asking ourselves, who's the real monster? Right? Poignant. Thank you all so much for your support of the music. Oh, I'm sorry, before sometimes you have the best plans and then you ruin it. Students, parents, and sometimes parents need to help their students make good choices in life, as you have because they're in band. We need to keep playing music, right? My goal as a college person, I've taught middle school, I've taught high school. It's just older students. I don't see it as better or worse. The real teaching is happening at the middle school level, the most, and then high school level. And then, we reap the rewards in college. But students need to keep playing their instruments. So these students that are on stage that might be looking at their next steps, we don't need them to be music majors, but they have such a skill and a talent, and they need to keep going with that and keep playing their instruments. And for those students who are like, oh, well, no, I need to get myself academically set, I need to make sure that those are the ones who trickle away. Just like when they were going into high school, right? There's a little bit of apprehension. It's the same thing. Having music as part of their day gives them something familiar in a space that may be new. So if they're going off to college, encourage them to play. They may be able to get money doing so. And it doesn't matter where they go. It's a very personal choice. I told them, if anyone tells them, oh, there's only one place for you and it's the school I teach at, to use the critical thinking skills and question the information. Because there isn't just one place for everybody, it's a very personal choice. So I'm always willing to answer any questions about any school that I can and direct them. But that goes to same with the middle school students. There's a little bit of apprehension, right? It's like, oh, I don't know, it's high school, they need to try it. If they try it for a year, they're gonna be sold. That's the most important thing. So if you can do anything for your students, encourage, sometimes a little more than encourage, them to continue with music from middle school into high school. Give it a go for a year, because we know that they're going to be sold. We never talk about that second year, because most of the time they're hooked. So, these students are amazing. You guys are amazing. Mary Shelley's about to meet Frankenstein. Thank you all so much for being here.